What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Gal Gadot film, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins. It stars Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman along with Chris Pine, and it is the first solo Wonder Woman film in the DC universe of movies. This movie tells the story of Wonder Woman's origin, so everything takes place long before the events of Batman vs Superman. We start off with her as a child, growing up, and we eventually get to the point where she goes out into the human world and leaves Paradise Island, where all the Amazonians live, with Chris Pine to help him fight in World War I to end this massive conflict, because she believes there is a darker power behind this fight. Now, the whole movie actually does a really good job of investing in that World War I mindset. All of the costumes, all of the sets, all of the weaponry and fight scenes really feel like World War I combat, which is something we don't really get a lot of on the big screen. All of the performances in the movie are actually really good. I was expecting some to kind of fall behind or be kind of iffy, but honestly everyone does a great job, and Gal Gadot and Chris Pine are absolutely great. They have amazing chemistry on screen together. They worked really well with all the comedy in the film that hits, and then they also work to build what actually is a very real feeling romance in the movie. I think the biggest difference between this and the past DC films that everyone has hated so much is this movie takes the time to build a character. Everything doesn't have to be big explosions and secret missions. You can take quiet moments to build up a character, and unlike what they did with Man of Steel, where it sort of went like 0 to 100, he had like no powers to all of a sudden having all of them, and none of it really felt real, and it was kind of overshadowed by the fact that you had all this weird alien stuff happening. This movie really in the beginning is a quiet coming of age story almost for like the first 30 minutes, and it works so well. And I think a lot of that is attributed to, one, Gal Gadot's performance is great, but also Patty Jenkins' direction is so good in this movie. She knows how to make the emotional scenes emotional, and she also sells the hell out of all of the action scenes in this movie. The action isn't shaky or full of edits, it's very smooth and stylish, and I really thought that a lot of the action in this movie is reminiscent of what we saw in the warehouse sequence in Batman v Superman, when Batman goes into, not going to spoil why he's there, but he fights all those bad guys, and everyone says it's the best scene in that whole movie, because it is, but almost every single fight scene in this movie is just like that one. It might not be as long as that fight sequence, but every single one in this movie is just as stylish and flashy without being over the top and making it look fake. The movie has a really interesting and sort of sinister villain in it, and I think that the villain helps to build more about the way Wonder Woman views the world, which was really cool because it wasn't just some throwaway villain, it was simultaneously a challenging villain for her to defeat, but also a villain that helped show why she views the humans the way that she does. And then of course one of the biggest things about this movie is an extremely strong message about how important women are in Hollywood, and it makes a lot of jokes throughout the film about how she's sort of just disregarded for being a woman, since the movie takes place back in the 1910s before women even had the right to vote. But it shows that sort of disrespect, but this movie is also a triumph in female filmmaking because it's directed by Patty Jenkins, who does an amazing job, and it's also the first female-led superhero movie that we've had in theaters in a long time, and it's even more important because it's actually good. We've had female-led superhero movies, but they've always flopped, which has really been disappointing, and I'm not saying any of them necessarily deserve to not flop. Elektra and Catwoman are both trash films. However, it's very important that this movie is directed by a woman and is about a female character and is more than just a superhero movie. It has a real social aspect to it. It really invests in the aspect of feminism and of equal rights and how important each gender is, and I really liked that about this movie. Honestly, my only issues with it are some of the special effects look a little cheesy at times. They don't look bad, it's just there's really one specific thing that happens near the end that just kind of looks really cheesy and I didn't really think was necessary. And the other thing is pacing. This movie, it's paced fairly well in terms of action, but there's just some sequences that go on a little longer than they need to. We get the gist of what's happening, but then it sort of just holds the camera there and keeps showing us more for really no reason in terms of storytelling. I'm gonna give Wonder Woman an A-. This was an amazing superhero film and also an amazing female film. I really enjoyed almost everything about this movie. I'm definitely going to see it a second time. And I think with this and Logan coming out this year, so far this has been a phenomenal year for superhero movies. Let's hope that Spider-Man and Justice League can come back, because after seeing Wonder Woman, I am cautiously excited for Justice League now, because if it can continue in the path that this movie did, it could actually turn out to be a pretty kick-ass movie. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Wonder Woman, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.